Welcome to The Nation Diplomatic Dispatch, your window into the world of diplomacy and international affairs. Today and in this episode, we're joined by His Excellency EKITELA MORU, the High Commissioner of the Republic of Kenya to Malaysia, as we discuss Malaysia-Kenya relations and the growing partnership between the two countries. Your Excellency, welcome to the program. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, of course, much to talk about, but let's begin with perhaps the celebration recently of Malaysia and Kenya's strategic partnership of 60 years in diplomatic ties as well. Of course, this is a historic milestone that will help to elevate the Malaysia-Kenya relations. Walk us through what this milestone means and how significant it was for Kenya as well as for Malaysia.
Yeah, elevating Kenya-Malaysia relations to a strategic partnership marks a historic milestone after 6 decades of diplomatic engagement. It reflects our shared values and, more importantly, the growing political, economic, trade and investment and people-to-people ties between our two countries. This partnership is not just symbolic, but it provides an opportunity to deepen cooperation in key priorities areas of trade, investment, ICT, digital economy, education, as well as tourism. It also recognizes our complementary strength between the two countries. Kenya as a gateway to Africa and Malaysia as a hub to the Southeast Asia region. So it creates opportunities for mutual growth and long-term collaboration.
Well, you mentioned the gateway to Africa. The Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim recently visited Kenya, and he said that Malaysia is keen to help Kenya to become a star in Africa. What did the Prime Minister mean by this? Because this will really also help to upgrade the bilateral relationship.
Yeah, the visit of the Prime Minister was highly significant, especially coming as the two countries celebrate 60 years of diplomatic relations. It reinforced the trust and the political goodwill between our two countries. It also provides a platform to formalize engagements through the signing of instruments of cooperation. Especially during the visit, we signed instruments related to trade, tourism, city-to-city cooperation, the Kuala Lumpur and Nairobi city collaboration. So based on this and the trajectory that Kenya is now taking, the transformation trajectory that Kenya now is taking, we hope that in a few years we will be able to reach the star of Africa.
Definitely. Now, Kenya and Malaysia have shared a long history together as well in terms of working together and moving forward. In your view, what are some core strengths that really make this relationship so enduring, that makes this relationship unique?
Yeah, the enduring Kenya-Malaysia relationship is built on shared values, mutual respect and complementary strengths. Economically, our countries have benefited from trade and investment opportunities. With Kenya, of course, I said, as a gateway to Africa, and Malaysia as a hub. At the political level, we, as members of the family of nations, we are committed to multilateralism, inclusive development, and regional cooperation. At the cultural and social level, we have strong people-to-people ties. Education exchanges and tourism linkages that reinforce the trust and understanding between our people. Together, these factors have created a resilient and multifaceted partnership that is endured over 60 years and continues to evolve.
Well, as we discuss the bilateral relations between both countries and the strategic partnership as well, Your Excellency, you have been here on Malaysian shores in Kuala Lumpur for about a year and a half or so. What strikes you most about what is similar between both nations?
The cultural aspects and the trajectory we are taking as we like following the footsteps of Malaysia in terms of development. We are committed to inclusive development and sustainable development for our people. We are also working on poverty elevation and inclusive growth of our people.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, one important element for strategic partnerships are trade and investment, or rather two elements. Now, last year, Kenya became Malaysia's third largest trading partner in Africa, with trade reaching 5.7 billion ringgit. Now, how do you see this growth trajectory continuing in the coming years? How do we keep this momentum going? How do we take it to a bigger, larger figure?
The growth of the bilateral trade between Kenya and Malaysia underscores a growing economic cooperation rooted in our complementary strength. Kenya exports agricultural products into the Malaysian market to meet the Malaysian demand, and then Malaysia also Kenya imports from Malaysia palm oil and other manufactured goods which are required in the Kenyan market. Looking ahead, we expect this to continue, this trajectory to continue, driven by enhanced market access, trade facilitation, and sectoral cooperation in agriculture, manufacturing, infrastructure, ICT, and tourism. With the invigorated engagements, both at the government and the private sector levels, and the conclusion and signing of memorandum of understanding and agreements, we expect, and the people-to-people linkages, then we expect this bilateral trade even grow further.
And which area of trade and investment is something that Kenya is excited about to see flourish in perhaps the short term?
We are looking at, during the visit of the Prime Minister and the President agreed to remove tariffs on agricultural products. So we expect this to grow even further for both countries, and this would be important for the Kenyan farmers and the exporters, but also meeting the food security requirements of Malaysia.
Well, this has been welcomed as well, the fact that this is a significant step that will help to open new markets and opportunities for Kenyan farmers, and to strengthen the commercial foundation of the partnership between Malaysia and Kenya. What impact are we looking at here towards exporters and farmers?
It is going to be a boost for the Kenyan farmers and exporters especially. It will make the Kenyan products to be price competitive and in the Malaysian market. That will increase demand for exports such as tea, coffee, avocado, and cut flowers, which are already accessing this market. It will also encourage value addition, which would earn higher incomes for the farmers and expand production back in Kenya. So this will place Kenya as a reliable trade partner with Malaysia and even the ASEAN region.
And that's right, we talk about the ASEAN region and Malaysia as a gateway to the region as well. Now, the Prime Minister, Anwar Ibrahim, said Kenyan businesses will get special treatment from Malaysia purely on the grounds of friendship, but also the fact that there's immense potential for trade between both nations. What sectors do you think has potential for investment? We're looking at the context of Malaysia's expertise, and then also banking on Kenya's natural and human resources. We spoke a little bit earlier before coming on air about the growing number and voice of the youth also garnering a lot of momentum there.
Yeah. Several sectors are all significant investment potential between Kenya and Malaysia, leveraging on Malaysia's expertise and Kenya's natural and human resources. Some of these sectors include agriculture and agro-processing. Malaysian technology can enhance value addition for Kenyan agricultural products. The second one is manufacturing and high-tech industries, including electronics and semiconductors, where Malaysia's experience can accelerate Kenya's industrialization. The other one is renewable energy, leveraging on Kenya's natural resources and Malaysia's technical expertise. digital economy and fintech, there is an opportunity for growth by combining Kenya's innovative mobile solutions with Malaysia's advanced digital infrastructure. Then there is also an opportunity in the food and halal value chains. Malaysia is a global leader in halal certification and halal industry. So, and of course with the regional distribution networks across ASEAN. So Kenya can leverage on this to expand its processed food exports. The other sector is tourism and hospitality industry. The two countries can benefit from exchange of best practices in the tourism sector. These sectors offer mutual benefit opportunities for growth, job creation, skills transfer, and strengthening our strategic partnership.
That's right. We also are ushering in Visit Malaysia year 2026, so yes, that too will be exciting for countries, and especially countries that we have strong bilateral relations with and strategic partnerships with as well. Now, Malaysia is also ready to share her knowledge in semiconductors as well in areas of high-tech manufacturing, but also then prepared and keen to learn from Kenya's rapid development. How do you see this technology that will help to benefit both nations, and how do you see this working partnership moving forward?
The Kenya-Malaysia partnership in semiconductor manufacturing is not about transferring technology, but instead is co-building industrial capability. For Kenya, it will accelerate skills development and entry into the advanced manufacturing. For Malaysia, it is an opportunity to expand markets, diversify, and strengthen the supply chain resilience. Together, this represents a forward-looking model, more of South-South cooperation that can generate sustainable growth, innovation, and shared prosperity for both countries.
Well, of course, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim did arrive in Nairobi, more than a couple of weeks ago, and from that visit did outline some salient points for growth for both nations as well. Now, we look at tourism as well as looking at the urban areas. Both countries recently sat down to sign MOUs that covered tourism, even air services and city council cooperation. Now, what does this do, and how important are these agreements in strengthening what you've also highlighted as people-to-people ties? There is something that is quite similar between both nations in terms of the love for culture, the respect for language, and so on and so forth. And so how does this collaboration work?
The MOUs on tourism, air services agreement, and the city-to-city cooperation are highly significant because they translate our diplomatic engagements into day-to-day human interaction. For a long time, trade and investment agreements often dominate headlines, but the people-to-people ties is what will sustain the partnership.
Right.
These MOU exactly do that. Therefore, they are foundational in that sense. They institutionalize mobility, cultural exchange, and local collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Well, the exchange agreements between Nairobi City County and Kuala Lumpur City Hall, this also hints at a little bit more of urban cooperation as well. How do you see then that this will work in tandem to benefit both capitals?
The agreement between the capital cities opens door to practical urban cooperation. This partnership allows the cities to share their knowledge, innovate together, and improve the quality of the citizens, making the strategic partnership even visible at that level of the cities.
There's an area in terms of trade, but technology and innovation as well. Palm oil, there has been some movements and some updates there. Walk us through that, Your Excellency, in terms of what is Kenya's hope and aspiration with palm oil?
Currently, the Kenyan imports from Malaysia are dominated. Almost 90% is palm oil. So the discussions are that now Kenya being the fourth largest importer of palm oil from Malaysia globally, The discussions are, can Kenya import the crude oil, then it's refined in Kenya so that it can create jobs. Then you can also do other products beyond the edible oil.
Right, the byproducts.
So, the byproducts. So the MPOC, Malaysia has accepted to have the MPOC center in Kenya.
And how aggressive is Kenya into ensuring that this comes into fruition and that this is something that can be sustainable for the long term as well?
We're also looking at sustainable palm oil value chain in the sense that we can tap into the experience and the knowledge of the Malaysians as we also grow the value chain in Kenya. So we are asking the investors from Malaysia to be able to invest in Kenya, to be able to cultivate the oil palm trees for edible and other products.
Well, a lot of times when we talk about investment, we also talk about, of course, business and trade, but also innovation and technology.
Yes.
Now, what other areas do you foresee innovation really cultivating and happening, whether it's from agricultural or even technology per se, or semiconductors manufacturing? Are there any areas that Kenya hopes to collaborate even further with Malaysia?
Yeah, beyond this semiconductor, the digital collaboration with Malaysia is envisioned more on e-government, fintech, digital trade, smart agriculture, cyber security, and innovation ecosystem. So we like to leverage on Malaysia's structured innovation ecosystems, the university industry collaboration, which is working very well in Malaysia, and venture support. These areas allow Malaysia to share institutional and technological expertise, while Kenya contributes market test mobile technology solutions and a fast-growing innovation culture.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Prime Minister has also praised Kenya in terms of helping socially in terms of affordable housing and so on and so forth. How has Malaysia's experience inspired Kenya, and also vice versa, in addressing social challenges, whether it's poverty or even affordable housing?
Both Kenya and Malaysia have drawn inspiration from each other's experiences in poverty alleviation and affordable housing, shaped in different development paths, but shared social priorities. Malaysia's experience in systematic poverty reduction and large-scale affordable housing has inspired Kenya to strengthen the social protection, public-private partnerships, and inclusive development policies.
And how has that been working out so far, or what are the updates on that front?
Yeah, currently Kenya is doing well in affordable housing. Up to now, we have been able to build like 145,000 affordable housing, and this is going, and the contribution is made by the Kenyans themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, both countries also have emphasized specifically economic growth and human capital development, obviously both very important areas for nations to grow and progress. How has this shared vision shaped bilateral projects particularly? We're looking at areas like STEM and even education, two essential areas that also helps for both nations to work together.
Yeah, the shared commitment to inclusive growth and human capital development continues to shape Kenya-Malaysia cooperation in STEM and education by making people the center of our bilateral engagement. It drives projects that combine technology with training, investment with inclusion, and innovation with opportunity, ensuring that the economic cooperation translates into real lasting benefits for the citizens of both countries. Mm-hmm. Therefore, education and STEM collaboration is not only a tool for skills development, but a pillar for long-term strategic partnership between Kenya and Malaysia.
And one other area that we see growing interest in terms of a working partnership as well is the halal sector.
Yes.
Perhaps you could walk us through a little bit of what has been the updates there.
Kenya would like to leverage on the experience of Malaysia on halal certification and halal value chain. Currently, we are negotiating an MOU between Kenya and Malaysia to be able to see how we can grow the halal industry in Kenya. This will enable Kenya export processed products to Malaysia and even the ASEAN region.
Wonderful. Your Excellency, how do you envision Malaysia and Kenya working together to collaborate, to connect Africa's potential, which is now, of course, rising and booming as well, with potential growing markets in Asia? We did talk about ASEAN as well, and particularly the ASEAN-African nexus.
There's a great potential. Africa is where ASEAN was 20 years ago. So the potential for ASEAN to collaborate with Africa, and so that there's mutual growth is high. So Kenya provides that opportunity even for Malaysia to be able to enter the African market, which is 1.4 billion people. Going into the future, this will be a huge market, especially for the ASEAN region. While also Africa is looking at the ASEAN region in terms of learning, but also in terms of as a market.
Well, what message would you like to convey to business leaders and even investors in both countries, hoping to seize opportunities arising from this partnership, and what would you recommend for them to both look at towards moving forward in business, trade and investment?
The two leaders during the visit by the Prime Minister in Kenya gave confidence to the private sector to be able to do business. So it's high time for the private sector to take advantage of this political goodwill to be able to venture into doing business in both countries. For the Malaysian investors or business people, there's an opportunity to invest in Kenya. Kenya is strategically located. You can be able to, once you're in Kenya, you can access the African market. It is the 6th largest economy now in Africa. It's the market access, you can be able to access the trade blocks, the EAC, COMESA, African Continental Free Trade Area. But there's also a skilled workforce in Kenya. If you require a skilled workforce, we have a skilled, well-educated, youthful, and talented workforce, which you can be able to tap into. And then Kenya has developed infrastructure that would enable your business boom. But beyond that, there is also a stable political environment in Kenya, and the government provides investment support to every investor. So I would ask the Malaysian to be able to invest in Kenya.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for coming here today and sharing the potential for business, trade and investment between both countries, as well as the ongoing Malaysia-Kenya relations. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Malaysia and Kenya relations continue to evolve in many meaningful ways. As this partnership grows, it reflects a broader commitment to engagement, trust and global cooperation. I'm Jessie Chahal. Thank you for staying with us. This has been The Nation Diplomatic Dispatch, your window into the world of diplomacy and international affairs. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.